Maybe you don't need help writing a paper. The Writing Center is not the school's only resource. The Lasso Center is also here to help with your tutoring needs. Art is something I really enjoy, as you can tell, but you might be wondering who all can take these classes. But teachers are not the only ones dealing with the stress of a semester unlike any other. Students are also learning in a completely different environment. These businesses had to figure out how to operate unlike they ever had before and fast if they wanted to survive the pandemic. Oklahoma State University knows the importance of its students' academic success. They offer several resources to help students get through their classes. One such resource is the Writing Center. If you need help writing a paper or even coming up with an idea for your paper, the Writing Center is the place to go.
One of the things that we're able to do really well this semester is help students continue to work on their writing, to find their footing in environments where they're not comfortable, where they're not familiar with what's going on, where even a really well-run class, it may be difficult because they're used to getting those 5 to 10 minutes in class where they talk to a faculty member, and they didn't get that now.
The Writing Center is 100% virtual this year due to COVID-19. They offer synchronous and asynchronous sessions depending on which the student prefers. During synchronous sessions, the students get 1 hour with a live tutor. During asynchronous, the students submit their paper and receive feedback within 48 hours. Maybe you don't need help writing a paper. The Writing Center is not the school's only resource. The Lasso Center is also here to help with your tutoring needs. The Lasso Center offers one-on-one tutoring and supplemental instruction to students. Supplemental instruction is an interactive, peer-led collaborative study. This allows for students to get the help they need for the type of learner they are. All sessions last 1 hour and are completely free to use.
In that 50-minute session, the first portion, the tutor works with the student to find out what questions do you have about your class, what are some goals that you have during this time, and kind of what are 3 things we can accomplish.
Academic success coaching is also available in the Lasso Center. These coaches can help students develop solutions to problems they may be facing, such as time management or study skills. The Writing Center and Lasso Center are just 2 of the resources available to students. These resources are built to help students succeed and are open to all. For Pete's Corner, I'm Maddie Millspaw. Ever since COVID-19 hit the country in March, local businesses are trying to find new ways to survive. For the first month and a half of the pandemic, stores had to completely shut down. They had to survive with no income until May 1st when Governor Stitt passed Phase 1 of reopening. Brittany Hadley's store was one that had to shut down.
My business, we do a lot of booth events where I go take my things and set up, like at OSU football games, and I'm inside the stadium for a few of the basketball games. And I do craft fairs and local Crazy Day sales. We set up outside. All of those were totally different, if not completely canceled.
Even with the state starting the process of reopening businesses, many were still afraid to leave their house. It took people quite a while to feel comfortable enough to go outside, and even then, masks were required everywhere. The stores had to face many restrictions, such as small capacity numbers. These businesses had to figure out how to operate unlike they ever had before and fast if they wanted to survive the pandemic. Although businesses had to jump many hurdles in the beginning, people are getting more and more comfortable getting out every day. Those that are not comfortable getting out have the ability to shop local online through businesses' websites. The only question is, are the businesses still making the same kind of revenue they used to? Cassie Taylor has been dealing with her business's revenue since March.
Definitely slower sales. And that makes it hard because, I have employees that are scheduled to work.
Although people are now getting used to the current way of life, it is still not something that they want to be permanent. Without people getting out there and shopping local, the businesses opened by friends, family, and neighbors will not be able to make it. Although we are not quite sure what will happen next, everyone hopes that the pandemic will be over soon. For Pete's Corner, I'm Maddie Millspaw. Homecoming is one of the most important weeks here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and not just for the students, but for alumni as well. It gives them a chance to come back to college for a weekend. No matter how long it's been since their graduation, Being back in Polk territory can bring a smile to their face. But how has that changed with the pandemic going around?
Although I didn't get to go to a lot of alumni events for homecoming or anything, I did get to go to the football games, which was pretty awesome.
In a normal year, the Alumni Association puts together several events to keep the weekend packed full of fun. This year was supposed to be the biggest one of them all, as it was the centennial of Oklahoma State homecomings. However, due to COVID-19, the OSU Alumni Association was unable to host the 2020 homecoming. Although homecoming did not go exactly as planned, the staff of the Alumni Association are working hard behind it. The only events that were not affected by the COVID-19 pandemic were the football game and the painting of the fountain. All other aspects of the centennial homecoming celebration were postponed until fall of 2021. Next year is sure to be a fantastic homecoming to make up for lost time.
We firmly believe that if homecoming is going to happen, we want it to be in its entirety and give it the recognition and the magnitude that it deserves, because it's America's greatest for a reason.
Even with the pandemic going on, many alumni still had the opportunity to come home to Stillwater for the football game. This was still an exciting event and gave them something to look forward to for next year's homecoming festivities. For Pete's Corner, I'm Maddie Millspaw.